Chapter 5, Skye to the Rescue. This is still Skye writing, and I'm using red ink because it's my favourite and it's the colour of my hair and also the colour of Magal's hair. I'm writing everything I can remember, and then Minnow, Frank, Ben and Blizzard are going to check it for me. Okay, here goes. We were all still in the huge observatory in Angel's Tower, each of us lounging on an enchanted chair. I was so shocked when Magal said, "I've plotted the exact spot from which Skye needs to depart when she leads the search into the Noesis." To be honest, I felt utterly distraught. How could I possibly lead a search into the Noesis? As if feeling my distress, my chair suddenly saturated me with 3 huge ocean breakers, one after the other. Then an enormous octopus emerged and sat next to me, tangling its tentacles around my left leg. I didn't know what to do, so I just sat there. "You're the key," Angel said. "Jemima is you, so you're the best hope we have." "Don't worry," said Blizzard. "We'll all be with you." "Is that supposed to make me feel better?" I asked. There was a sudden clatter as 2 boys burst into the observatory. Both were about 18 years old. Their faces shone with happiness as they grabbed cake and yelled out greetings to all of us before running out again as fast as they could. "Escher, Solo," called Angel. "We have guests. Come back." Escher and Solo ran back in, full of apologies as they grabbed more cake. Escher had jet black hair and dark green eyes. Solo had a shock of spiky blonde hair and eyes so blue that they looked like the sky. Without even asking, Escher and Solo climbed onto my chair and sat next to me, one on each side. Escher grinned at the octopus and said, "Hey, old man, I haven't seen you for a while." I wondered if the octopus would reply, but instead it silently moved over to sit on Escher's lap and then tangled its tentacles around Escher's right leg and arm. Solo grinned. "I really dig this chair. Good choice." Six morphed into a falcon and fluttered up high into the air before flying down to sit on Solo's shoulder. He smiled at her. "Hey, little falcon, welcome." "Thank you," said Six. "It talks," said Solo, teasing Six. Looking at me, he asked, "Did you see any whales?" "Or sea dragons?" asked Escher. "They're my favourite. And octopi, of course. I love octopi." Escher patted the octopus on his lap. "You never know what's going to happen in this chair, although you know it won't be bad," said Solo. "Jax is the best. One of my friends hates jellyfish. He's been in this chair so many times and never once has he seen a jellyfish." Escher nodded. "Jax makes sure the chairs hook up with the imagination of the person sitting on them. That way you don't get freaked out." Before I had time to respond, Blizzard was talking. "Boys, this is Skye Walker," said Blizzard. "Skye, meet 2 of our time game students, Escher Matrix, Jax's stepbrother, and Solo, Solomon Dew. The Dews are very famous here. Solo's great-great-grandmother, Elsie Dew, invented the indigo sea with all its healing properties." "She was truly great," said Solo. "When I become a fully fledged time wizard, I'm definitely visiting her back in the day." "If you're invited," said Jax. Solo laughed. "Don't worry, I will be." "Skye Walker," said Escher, putting an arm around me. "Are you related to Luke?" "Are you?" asked Solo, excited. I couldn't help blushing. "I could be," I said. "You have to be," said Solo. "I love Star Wars." "Me too," said Escher. Solo added, "I shortened my name from Solomon." "In honour of Han Solo?" I asked. "Of course." "Hey, this cake is ridiculously good," said Escher. "Did you make it, Jaxophone?" "You know I don't bake," said Jax. "Darling made it." Darling nodded in a polite, formal way from her spot beside Minnow. Turning his attention back to me, Solo asked, "When did you arrive?" "A few hours ago," I said. "Enough interrogation," said Angel. Escher and Solo became as suddenly serious as they'd been playful. Skye has had parts of herself splinter away, said Angel, and someone has stolen Jemima, Skye's 4-year-old self. I'm her 6-year-old self, said Six, transforming into a girl again and pushing quite a lot of cake into her mouth. I couldn't help wincing. In front of the boys I felt shy enough. I didn't need my 6-year-old self embarrassing me. Chapter 5.5 The Boy Who Came Back from the Dead by Skye. And I write the whole remainder of the book, so this is the last time I'll put this message here. Just know that it's me writing everything from now on. I needn't have worried about Six's greedy wildness. Escher and Solo turned out to be the best of people. We can help with the splintering, said the boys. We've had way freaky things happen. I died once, said Solo, but I came back to life. I widened my eyes, not sure whether or not to take him seriously. Somehow, though, I knew that he was telling the truth. Yeah, dead as a doornail, said Solo. Or an old boot, said Escher. Solo grinned at me. Coming back from the dead was wild, he said. The best rush. Wow, I said, although I didn't know if I should believe him. I'll tell you about it one day, said Solo. Not now, though. The islands of time have so many stories, but not everyone's been resurrected, so my story's pretty sweet. Yeah, and I have to tell you about Halo too. He's the best and most wild angel. My head was spinning. Both Escher and Solo were talking so fast. How do you feel being all splintered? Asked Escher. I shrugged. I can't really remember what it feels like to be together. Oh, way better, said Escher. I splintered once, but only a little bit. Jack splintered after having bad torture. When she was put back together, she said it was like being fully alive again. You two should talk. Just blow apart my privacy, said Jax, but she was smiling. Looking at me, she said quietly, We will talk later. I nodded. Angel stood up. Everyone, please, she said. I love your stories, boys, but we need to get back to business. Someone will have to go into the Noesis with Skye. She can't do it alone. I will, said Solo. Me too, said Escher. When? Now? I stared at Angel in shock, but she smiled. Not tonight, she said. Skye needs some sleep. But she should go soon, said Miguel. The sooner the better. I felt as though Miguel was being very bossy. I wasn't sure if I liked him. We have to prepare her first, said Jax. Prepare? I asked. Don't worry, said Miguel. It's just a little dip in the sea. You're not afraid of the sea, are you? Another of the chair's breakers washed over me. Escher and Solo both yelled, Whoa! And excellent. Clearly they loved the ocean chair. Tomorrow morning, suggested Blizzard, after we've all had some rest. As Blizzard spoke, I realised how exhausted I was. That would be good, I said, yawning. Of course, said Angel. We're forgetting our manners. Skye, Six, Minnow, come with me. Before you go, said Darling, I've put out some special pyjamas just for you. They're made from the cotton of the magic cottonwood tree down by the beach. They'll make sure your dreams are full of healing. We all went over to give Darling a hug. Her beak curled into the most wonderful smile, and she held her head high, looking very pleased with herself. Angel led us up a staircase and across a platform to one of the many tree houses nestled in the branches of the tree that was wrapped around Marescimar's central tower. Looking up and down, we could see lots of tree houses, each one a different shape. This is my favourite, said Angel. When I sleep in here, I have the most delicious dreams and wake up feeling like I'm in heaven. I smiled. I already feel like I'm in heaven. Tomorrow you'll feel even better, said Angel, smiling. The healing that started today will continue while you're asleep. I breathed a sigh of relief. Feeling safe had become a thing of the past when Ben and I were living at Isla and Filthy's centre. "Thank you," I said. "I haven't slept well for a long time." Angel looked as though she understood. "You've been through a lot." "We have," said Six. "I'm sorry," said Angel. "I hope we can undo the evil." "Me too," I said. I looked up at Angel. If the time virus caused all the bad things to happen, and they weren't supposed to, then perhaps Mum and Dad are actually alive. Angel looked serious. "We can't know that," she said. "Unfortunately, the evil might have caused damage that can't be undone." "We can still live in hope," said Minnow. Angel nodded. "Of course," she said with a smile. "I'm sorry. This is far too serious for bedtime. I should be reading you a lovely story." Snuggling into my soft, warm bed felt so good after the cold stone floor of the crypt. The beds in the treehouse had the smoothest silk sheets in a dark purple, and the quilt was the deepest green. As we put our heads onto our pillows, each of us sensed the most wonderful dreams hovering all around our heads, waiting to fill our minds. Angel smiled. "I knew your mother, Skye and Six. I knew her well." I beamed. "Really?" "I grew up with Peggy," said Angel. "But you helped our grandmother write the book about splintering," said Six. "Aren't you thousands of years old?" "I am," said Angel. "I met your grandmother when I came here to be the High Chancellor. Time is a funny thing. You'll learn all about it one day. I grew up with your mum when we were both girls, but I've ended up thousands of years older than her. Strange, isn't it?" Six nodded. Angel continued. "Peggy was my best friend at school." "Was she a time wizard?" asked Six. Angel smiled. "What do you think?" she asked. "Yes." Angel looked happy. She was the best time wizard. Six squealed with happiness, and I felt as if my face would ache from smiling so much. "I think I knew it," I said. "Can I tell Ben?" "Not yet," said Angel. "Minnow, you mustn't tell Frank either, but you'll be able to tell them soon."